Potential becomes reality in Karasuno's match against Inarizaki. The Fallen Crows have risen from the dump, proving themselves as one of the best teams in the nation. Even so, they remain challengers. Now they must look inward to reach the next level. Here, Hinata pushes to jump higher. The Miya Twins discover a greater speed. Yamaguchi and Kinoshita try and perfect their serving, and Nishinoya faces fear for the first time in a long time. The individualistic focus in this match was the ideal follow-up for the first major game since Karasuno's victory over Shiratorizawa. Up until this point, every opponent pushed Karasuno in a different way. Date Tech attacked the weakness of the upperclassmen. Abajosai reflected their setter. Shiratorizawa opposed them philosophically, and Nekoma offered total defense to Karasuno's total offense. Inarizaki reflects Karasuno stylistically, forcing the Crows to fully embrace their own style of play, reaching to the lessons of the past to ensure victory. The stakes are high, as Inarizaki are touted as one of, if not the, strongest team in Japan. They boast all-stars all over the court, led by Atsumu at setter and Aaron at outside hitter, both of which are top 5 in the country at their respective positions. Peering behind the overwhelming talent of Inarizaki are the cats of Nekoma, patiently waiting to take down the Crows. Karasuno must win to reach their goal of playing Nekoma in an official match, and in their way is a team even greater than Shiratorizawa. While the stakes of the match are high, it also coincides with Furodate pushing his abilities as a mangaka to the extreme. As Karasuno find their groove, so too does the creator of the story. In this match, the paneling and narrative explode off the page in a way that I don't think any of the matches previously quite reached. The tension kicks off in warm-ups when Atsumu approaches Kageyama, Atsumu trying to stir Kageyama's emotions in the same way he did at the all-youth training camp, here lamenting how he hates playing against scrubs. However, this is not the same Kageyama. No longer easily manipulated, he backs his teammates. It's moments like these where I sometimes need to stop myself when reading Haikyuu. The old Kageyama never saw value past his own play, so to hear him put faith in those around him confirms that this is not the same player from early in the show. Kageyama has fully grown into himself. Hinata's excitement to play signals a similar kind of growth. Karasuno have arrived. We feel the level of Inarizaki as soon as they step on the court, their supporting section taking over the gym, outshining every other powerhouse school. The spectacle of Inarizaki makes Shiratorizawa seem small. Amongst the noise is a solemn leader for Inarizaki, their team captain who we know little about. Furodate's paneling stands out to me here, as he places Kita front and center with the confidence of an ace and gets the readers anticipating his true introduction as a bench player. It would be easy to get wrapped up in the spectacle of all of it. Standing across a school like that, players may fall to the pressure, but Hinata doesn't give an extra thought to his opponents in warm-ups, instead looking to jump even higher. 2 months earlier, Karasuno shocked the Miyagi Prefecture when they beat Shiratorizawa. Why not do the same to Inarizaki in Tokyo? Atsumu kicks off the game by silencing the crowd, then bursts forward and nails a no-touch ace, a serve so good that Noya couldn't even react. Yet, it leaves the prodigy setter unhappy because some girls cheered in the build-up. Atsumu seeks perfection to such a level that he demands the same from the crowd. His next attempt, he gets the silence he craves, sending the ball just out of bounds. We wonder maybe the best thing for Atsumu isn't to completely give in to his impulse. Asahi misses his first serve, then Inarizaki put a light one into play. Hinata flies forward, hitting his best BAM jump yet, so enveloped in getting higher, he forgets to hit the ball. Karasuno losing what could have been an easy point, but Hinata sends a message to Inarizaki. He can go even higher. Atsumu comments, saying Hinata may be just as bad as Kageyama, a player who marches to the beat of their own drum. This idea of going to your own tune reinforces the importance of looking inward. The best players focus on what they can do, not what their opponents are throwing their way. Internal development is the name of the game here, and it starts with monsters leading the way, while others follow in their footsteps. Hinata pushing higher also presents a problem for Kageyama, as he'll have to match his sets to Hinata Hinata's differing heights, a challenge he's more than excited to face. When you get to this level, the enjoyment stems from adapting in real time, striving for greater heights. Atsumu puts his stamp on the game, setting the ball on a first touch to Aaron, catching Karasuno off guard. The other great players in the tournament watch on, analyzing how annoying it would be to face down such an unpredictable style, and we can only sympathize with the ways Karasuno did the same to those in the Miyagi Prefecture. Karasuno settle into the game, showing they belong. Kageyama resetting the play with a rebound, then hitting Hinata on a slide. I love this page where Atsumu gushes over how cool the freak quick is, and Hinata embraces the crowd with joy. Atsumu presents a towering exterior, but has a childlike glee for the game. Atsumu follows it up with a quick of his own, showing off his perfect technique, so refined that only the most astute setters would even notice. Inarizaki take a commanding 7-4 lead off of the back of an Aaron service ace. While the two teams share many similarities, it's clear the gap in experience is making all the difference right now. Inarizaki set the pace, and Karasuno try and keep up. Hinata impresses everyone with his first normal serve of the game, and follows it up with a very normal foot receive. Kageyama uses Hinata's presence to get a key point for their team. Atsumu shows off his godly serving skills by switching to a jump float. Despite having no spin, he still puts force behind it, as it smashes in front of Noya's face before he's ready, and he misses the two-handed receive. Atsumu does it again, forcing Karasuno to scramble. When the dust settles, Inarizaki put true fear into Karasuno by stealing one of their greatest weapons. This position, this timing, this angle. Perfect. Atsumu and Osamu pull off their own version of the minus tempo quick, Inarizaki adopting the one play that sets Karasuno apart. Inarizaki aren't just the more talented and experienced team, they can even match Karasuno's unique style of play. Asahi breaks free with a killer serve, as Furodate introduces us to his new serving routine that focuses on him tightening and loosening his grip. This will become a key indicator for Asahi moving forward, allowing Furodate to show Asahi is serving just with a single panel. There are many smaller details like this that Furodate uses to convey concepts effectively to the reader. This match works so well because it references so much of what's come before. I think all great narratives teach you how to understand them, and Haikyuu is no different. Say it's learning a player's serving routine to easily identify them, or it could be more complicated volleyball concepts that have been built up time and again. Atsumu using the same timing phrase Kageyama used at the manga start only reinforces the narrative we've been following. As we follow this match of players who are peaking in their skill in teamwork, so too do we pay off all of the storytelling blocks built over the course of the story. As soon as Hinata is in the front row, Atsumu knows Kageyama will try to use him, getting Inarizaki to shut down the freak quick easily. Furodate uses the head coach of the youth team as a central curator of ideas throughout nationals, a coach who needs to see the greater development and potential more than any other in the series. Seeing another player replicate your greatest asset could be deflating, but there's a positive angle to this. Hinata knows that his unique skill set can mesh with other setters. Kageyama and Hinata are no longer the players that panic and rely on blind speed to push through. They see the blockers, read the game state, and make smart plays based off of that information. Suki's read blocking has been working in the background of the match, and comes front and center as he snuffs out an Osamu quick. Suki, the perfect person to play against the quick, as he has seen it up close so many times, now getting to experience shutting down the freak quick in a real game. After this, Tanaka barely scores, moving his body out of the way, and Karasuno getting within 1 point of Inarizaki, slowly clawing their way back after a mediocre start. Kageyama turns to Suki up the middle, scoring once again. Atsumu reflects on how much Kageyama has grown in such a short period of time from the training camp. This here is truly the coming out party for the Great King. In an attempt to adapt to the twins quick, Coach Yukai makes an adjustment with Hinata, having him mark Osamu Miya, a callback to earlier in the show when Inuyoka did the same thing against Karasuno. Kinoshina gets subbed in as a pinch server to leave his mark on the game, and gets some help when Hinata stuffs Osamu Miya first try, tying the game 18 apiece. Inarizaki and Karasuno each punch back, taking 2 points in a row, with the first set tied 22 apiece. With a chance to take a strong lead, Yamaguchi gets subbed in. The pressure of the stadium begins to overwhelm our pinch server, so he seeks the exit sign as a way to reset, to remember where he came from, the hours of diligent practice. But the sign is blocked by Inarizaki's cheer squad. The crowd and now the pressure swallow him. In the biggest moment for Yamaguchi, he fails to find balance. As the pressure becomes overwhelming, Shimada, his mentor, comes to the rescue. Yamaguchi is back on that street corner. Everything grows still. He's done this serve 1,000 times before. He moves into his jump float, whipping a serve to Aaron Ojiro, who can't handle the unpredictability, and Karasuno take the lead. Inarizaki fire right back, scoring with ease despite a strong serve once again from Yamaguchi and a great hustle from Tanaka. Karasuno continue putting the pressure on, with the game tied at 24. Atsumu looks to attack Tanaka, seeing him as the weakest link. Tanaka positions himself to make the receive, trying to face Atsumu head on, but Noya steps in. Tanaka hypes up his friend, but internally he thinks about how lame he's been in this match today. Tanaka came to Karasuno as an even more brash first year. His hair was dyed and he would pick a fight with anyone who talked down to Karasuno, a school he still viewed as a powerhouse despite their lack of success in recent years. Tanaka wanted to fight back against some kids who talked down to his team, but the upperclassmen shrug it off. Daiichi, Asahi, and Suga laughing on the outside, but their eyes revealing their focus on proving those words wrong on the court. The determination from the upperclassmen inspired Tanaka to take his game more seriously. Karasuno are at set point, and Kageyama goes to Tanaka with a chance to win the first set, stealing advantage away from the favorites. Tanaka's spike gets stuffed. Karasuno scrambled to keep it in play. Another chance given to Tanaka. He can end it right here. Today he has done little to help his team. This is the moment to make an impact. Going for a line shot, Tanaka pushes the ball out of bounds, losing the point for Karasuno. The next rally turns into another mess. Karasuno scrambling from a broken play. Suki has a choice with the ball. Tanaka or Asahi? Tanaka calls for it, but Suki goes to the ace, allowing Asahi to scrape a point together, getting Karasuno back to match point. Tanaka has always been brash, acted like he was the best when everyone watching knows he isn't the star. Most of all, Tanaka understands this, but does Mr. Average really have the time to be looking down? Kageyama has all of the choices. Karasuno can again win the set. Asahi just scored a difficult point. Tanaka has failed to convert at a high rate in this set. Kageyama in the air. Tanaka screams for the ball. Kageyama putting faith in his spiker to make the play. Inarizaki's blockers close in. Tanaka, surprising the entire gym, hits a Bokudo-esque cut shot, winning the first set for Karasuno. In a game like volleyball, it isn't often decided by your best player on the court, but the quality of your weakest player. When everyone has to play well to win, teams will hone in on the weakest link. Tanaka may be average, but that doesn't mean he has the time to try and not perform, for his team still needs him. The focus on Tanaka will feed into the exploration of Kita later in the match. Every team needs players to fill in the gaps, for no team can be filled with stars. Tanaka's messaging about being average relates to how many of us feel, and I would say being able to continually pick yourself back up and try again makes Tanaka and us far more than average. After this set, Furudate takes a break from the action to focus on Nekuma, as Kenma takes a step for his teammates and finds himself waiting for the big boss in Hinata and Karasuno. The stakes raised even higher as Nekuma is officially through to the next round of the tournament. We cut back into the middle of the second set, with Inarizaki doubling Karasuno's score 14-7. Even worse than the score, Atsumu targets Noya and gets the better of Karasuno's show's guardian. Most of the time, servers will aim for the weakest defender on the other side, often the team's ace. We've seen Karasuno go after Eren and Inarizaki go after Tanaka. Atsumu doesn't just look to score a point. He wants to demoralize the opposition by embarrassing their defender. Atsumu succeeds in his goal, as Noya can barely keep up with his serves. This mini-battle resulting in a point up the middle for Suna, followed by an Atsumu error, as Noya versus Atsumu gets put aside for a little while. The match goes back and forth after this, with Eren scoring a big point. After Suga resets Karasuno, Kageyama hits a wicked service ace and starts to will Karasuno back into this set all on his own. Atsumu stepping in to put a stop to the nonsense, digging the freak quick with Osamu covering at setter. With the lead, Inarizaki's concentration starts to wane, so they sub in Kita and we finally get to see what their captain is all about. Kita calms his team. His attention to detail puts his teammates on notice and they regain control of the flow. Kita isn't an overly talented player, but he makes all the smart, under control plays Inarizaki needs, filling every hole for them. After the substitution, they cruise, winning the second set 25-16, trying their best to prove the first set as a fluke. Here we get Kita's backstory, which will turn out to be a landmark moment for Haikyuu's story. Live your life as if every moment someone watches over you. Kita's grandmother told him that as a kid, and it shaped how he approaches his life every day. Enjoyment comes from doing the small things, cleaning, taking care of your body, studying diligently. All of those little moments culminate into who we are. When you put focus into the small details, clarity comes next. When you understand yourself, that makes high-stakes situations like playing in a knockout volleyball game easy, for you have to put in the work and now trust that. You don't need to be nervous because you aren't doing anything new. Kita reflects everything we learn in Haikyuu, that the small details matter, and true change and happiness comes from attention to detail and not focusing on the results. The start of the third set brings us right back to Atsumu versus Noya. Noya gets some encouragement during the break, but will it be enough for him to handle the high pressure of Atsumu? Atsumu goes back to the jump float, and it seems to be going wide right until the last moment it drops inbounds. Inarizaki taking the first point of the final set. The next serve comes off the net, Karasuno scrambling to stay in the play. Noya thinks internally how he feels scared. Asahi takes on his role as the ace, scoring a difficult point to relieve some pressure off of Noya, trying to help his libero, who so many times in the past has helped him. Now we shift our focus to the middle blockers with our attention on Suna and Suki. Kageyama makes his defensive mark, stuffing Eren to give Karasuno a 3-2 lead. Suna compares Kageyama to Suki in his head, thinking Kageyama's the scary blocker because good blocking should terrify a hitter. But Suki has always shown us something different, that a well-oiled system can manipulate blockers long-term, giving a total advantage to the defense, not just off of one point. Kinoshita gets subbed in as a pinch server, hitting a solid strike but swiftly being dealt with by Inarizaki. Kinoshita isn't the most talented player, but seeing those like Tanaka in the first years gave him hope that he could also leave his mark on the game. But today just might not be that day. During the next break, Noya talks about how afraid he was as a child, that everything new scared him. Hard to believe from a player who up until this point has been so fearless in the eyes of the most difficult opponents. Overcoming fear like this comes when you seize the opportunity in front of you. Being scared is a waste because you only know how much you can handle after you give it a try, and if things stay scary, others will always help you through it. Atsumu goes back at Noya. Noya, frozen for just a moment, hears the shout from Kinoshita to move forward. Noya making a perfect overhand receive, and Asahi scores with ease. Today might have not been the day for Kinoshita to be recognized as the hero, but the amount of work he put in with Noya over the last few months have been crucial to his teammates' success. Greatness breeds greatness. We then transition from Noya overcoming fear into the Miya Twins' backstory. The two of them started playing volleyball at the same time, and interestingly, Osamu picked up on the game a little bit easier. As they got older, Atsumu's distant and harsh personality didn't mesh well with his teammates. teammates, Osamu making it a point to get along with them when Atsumu couldn't. The two of them were each other's greatest asset, pushing one another further and higher, always there to reach another level. In the end, only Atsumu got invited to youth camp. Osamu and Atsumu share the same skill for volleyball, but what separates them is Atsumu's love of the game stretching just a bit further. Atsumu uses his top-notch balance to get low and make a perfect set, this highlighting his extreme love of the game. Despite a harsh exterior, he will always go the extra mile to make sure his sets are perfect for his teammates. Kageyama echoing Hinata's sentiment of how glad he is to have made it to nationals, to see in play against such amazing players. Each side takes points off of one another, keeping the match close moving into the mid-teens. Who needs the memories? That is Inarizaki's team motto. They may have taken second place in the previous tournament, but that has no impact on the now, for today requires their skill, not yesterday. They leave behind expectations to set a new path, blazing ahead and hitting a reverse minus tempo quick with Osamu as setter. Karasuno had taken the lead early in the set, but Inarizaki won't go away. Atsumu isn't just messing around, but has full control of his game. He jumps ahead, taking a first touch into a set for Osamu, but Tsuki is prepared, the read blocking system in full effect, ready to shut down the surprise attack. Osamu is Atsumu's twin after all, deciding to set the ball across to Eren for a one-on-one opportunity with the ace. If Inarizaki score here, they will take a commanding lead in the match. Eren smashes the ball ahead, and Hinata is there waiting, and maybe for the first time ever, makes a perfect receive. Months and years of training often culminate in small steps up the ladder. One day, you finally do something you've never done before, and it creates a new baseline for yourself. For Hinata, his defense takes a step forward here, all of his hard work paying off in this crucial moment for Karasuno. The defensive liability no more, Hinata, the all-round player, has started to form. Karasuno fire back, but Inarizaki keep the ball alive. With the advantage to Karasuno, luck goes the other way as the ball hits the net, and Inarizaki win the point, despite Hinata's brilliance. Karasuno's morale deflates as they go back to the bench, feeling like the game might now be out of reach. Hinata brings them out of it without even trying, as he tells Kageyama that he'll get the next receive. Osamu comments on Hinata's hunger, relating it how one good bite of food only makes you that much hungrier. That hunger flowing into his teammates and opposition. As the game moves forward, Kita gets subbed in to hold the lead, and Tsuki seems to be running out of steam. Asahi is the opposite, hitting 100% service ace, bringing Karasuno 1 point behind. The hunger spreads across enemy lines as the Miya Twins won't be left behind, getting swept away in the moment, and they try to pull off another reverse minus tempo, but the timing's off, and they've made a blunder. Only for Kita to be there to keep the ball in play. Even so, Karasuno even the score, with Daiichi hitting directly at Kita, the two captains, the embodiments of consistency, going head-to-head. Karasuno pressing ahead and taking the lead back 21-20 as Tsuki stuffs a free ball. Inarizaki are yet to be outdone, as Eren shows why he's one of the top 5 aces in the nation. A couple of points go their way, and suddenly Inarizaki are at match point, leading 24-22. Earlier, Tanaka asked if he could get a few less sets, as he felt close to hitting his limit. Kageyama refused, knowing how crucial Tanaka is to Karasuno's success, and knowing he can handle the pressure. Tanaka's spike gets blocked, only for Noya to keep it in the air. Then Hinata sends it forward, Inarizaki getting a set play, Noya once again making a crucial receive. Kageyama puts it up for Tanaka, allowing him to decide how to best approach the attack, and his faith is rewarded with a perfect line shot. Pushing your limits can be scary, but when you have made a solid foundation, you will make it out on the other side. Kageyama has reached a new level of play, his serenity allowing him to make perfect decisions and emboldens his teammates as well. Kageyama's play pisses not only Atsumu off, but even Oikawa as well. Kageyama hits a monster serve, getting an ace and setting the match to a deuce. The next serve, Kageyama leaves it short, getting a free ball for his team and letting Hinata take the lead. Atsumu following it up, getting another point back for Inarizaki. The next rally comes down to a game of inches, as Kageyama reaches beyond, needing to get just a bit higher to leave the ball for Hinata. He gets to it, but still leaves it short. Hinata reacts, earning Karasuno a point. It doesn't matter what kind of set comes his way. Hinata wants them all. Now Atsumu is back up to serve and gets the better of Daiichi, taking advantage for Inarizaki. The next one Daiichi barely gets to, and now Kageyama once again finds himself looking for just a bit more height, stretching beyond to make sure Hinata gets the ball. Kageyama won't be outdone by his counterpart and turns a difficult situation into a perfect quick. Next, Suna directs a shot straight at Hinata, and our little shrimp makes another receive. After another long rally, the ball ends in the hands of Karasuno's ace, and he makes good on Kageyama's set, proving that he belongs with the best at the position. Karasuno now sit at match point. Score, and they get to play Nekuma in an official match. Whoever gets this next point is a hero. Suna scores next, and both teams push into their 30s, Kageyama taking the lead with a timely setter dump. With a chance to win the match, Karasuno start to press, every play moving quicker to the spot to end the game right here, right now. Speed is an ally, but it can also be a curse. It can overwhelm and narrow your view of the court. Coach Yukai screams for his players to slow down, but they don't listen. As the play falls apart, Tanaka hits a rebound, everyone trying to get back faster, and Hinata's there, bumping the ball high into the air, taking it easy, so his teammates have a chance to breathe. Just like he learned when he was a ball boy, has a chance to set a synchronized attack. But Inarizaki read it well, getting the best of Tanaka. Kagami keeps the ball in the air. Suki, the kid who didn't used to care about volleyball, puts everything he has to give it one tip in the air, and Daiichi sends a free ball back the other way. Inarizaki have all the tools to win this rally, so they get to the fastest one. This position, this timing, this angle. Perfect. Kageyama and Hinata knew what they would do and are able to stop it in their tracks, stuffing the twins quick, proving that speed is not the ultimate weapon, for you always need to play with a greater clarity than that. Karasuno overcome Inarizaki and advance to the next round at Nationals. Karasuno vs. Inarizaki is the perfect intersection for Haikyuu's story. It elevated the gameplay we saw in the Inner High Prefectural Tournament while still keeping every character grounded. It has taken hundreds of chapters, but Hinata can survive on defense, Kageyama has faith in his teammates, and Karasuno prove they belong at the national level. Most of all, it pays off once again the loss to Albajosai, showing that Hinata and Kageyama need to absorb why they lost to take the next step up the ladder. Karasuno vs. Inarizaki is one of the greatest matches in sports anime history, expanding and redefining the levels Haikyuu could reach while reinforcing why the beginning of the story was so essential. The match that proved to everyone Haikyuu would be an all-time classic series. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I want to give a huge shout out to all my patrons and YouTube members. Their donations every month are crucial in helping me continue uploading videos. If you want to pledge, you get access to this channel's Discord server where I host monthly anime watch-alongs. Right now we're watching Shihaya Furyu. You get your name at the end of every video, as well as exclusive posts. Thank you again to everyone who supports the channel in that way. I had a blast making this video, and I hope to see you in the next one.